Sometimes you read the paper and watch the news, and it seems like there's more bad news than good in the world. But you know what? It's just not true.
I at least can hold on to something, that there's something, maybe it's small, but there's something that I'm doing to make a difference.
It's just a feeling that you have. If you can help people, you have to. There's no alternative.
Every child has potential that we just can't know. And so, to my mind, that's what we're doing. We are saving potential for the future.
Public education in America is going through a period of great introspection. Everything from standardized testing to the length of the school day is up for debate. You are about to meet Iracema Salcido at the Chavez schools in Washington, D.C. We will meet students from every walk of life who come together in 4 schools to discover the power they have to make a positive impact on the course of local, national, and world events.
Knowing about Cesar Chavez's life, it inspired me to want to do something to impact the lives of those that are most in need, just like he did. The best way to do it, make sure that a lot of our minority students have access to high quality education in order to be able to give back, just like Cesar Chavez did.
What's wrong with the world, mama? People living like they ain't got no mamas. I think the whole world's addicted to the drama.
This is about empowering students to make sure that when they walk out of our doors, that whatever they decide to do, college or career, that they are going to make an impact on the world around them.
But the big question is, where are you at right now? Where are you at right now? How many of you all have your controversial questions finished?
We have sort of a 3-pronged approach to public policy here, and it involves 3 components that really work reciprocally, and there's sort of an interwoven cycle of understanding, acting, and believing.
Your controversial question, read one of your controversial questions so we can all kind of get an idea of it.
Are more gun control laws needed to protect U.S. citizens?
In your opinion, are more gun controls needed to protect citizens? Yes or no?
Yes.
I think our mission is to empower students with a critical thinking and the ability to see how to take action once they've learned the content.
By understanding, you can take a more informed action. By acting, you come to believe that change is possible. That belief fuels your desire to learn more. And so that sort of cycle of understanding, acting, and believing is sort of the core of our public policy courses, but also just sort of the way we think learning can empower someone.
I think the major change that I would make is just make them stricter, because we have gun control laws now, but they're not like enforced the way we want them. So I think that we should make them stricter to the point, not like easily obtained by people that do not need them.
Keep going.
If you put a hindrance on them for them to own a gun, it's hard for more people to like commit suicide or to kill other people.
Should everybody have the right to own a gun? Yes or no?
No.
Really?
The teachers that come to our school are very dedicated teachers that understand that one of the main jobs of schools is to prepare citizens to participate in our democratic process.
But we have an amendment that states what? That you have the right to do what? Bear arms. Okay, so if you have the right to do so, why do you all want to put limitations on it?
Not in every situation.
Yes, Doris.
Not if you have like a criminal record with guns, or criminal background, period. I don't think you should be able to have a gun.
Al, shoot.
I say it depends on where you live at. Like in most environments, like urban and rural environments, where they go hunting and stuff. And urban, they just go around killing people and they think it's cool and stuff.
So you're saying if you live here, you can have a gun, but if you live here, you're not allowed to have one?
Yeah. Everyone should have the same rights. So if you have a group of people here owning guns and a group of people here owning not owning guns, it's like, well, why can't I own a gun just like them?
I disagree. I don't think it's discriminatory because if you focus on places that have like high crime rates when it comes to homicide and suicide, if it's not high crime rates in rural areas, then it's fair to them to not have that kind of bill to limit them from owning a gun.
We have the best mission in the city. And our mission is that our students are not just going to get prepared to be successful in college, they're going to do things that matter for the community while they're here.
So I know that you've been working really hard going through the DC Promise Act and making the connections that we've been talking about.
I think it is really a big, different idea to say it's actually now. It's actually the change that you can make while you're here. While you're studying math, you're going to be making a change because you're going to present your findings to city council members, or you're going to present your findings in a public service announcement that we're going to publish on YouTube. And so I think it is really different to say young people can make a change now.
So I want to introduce you to Councilmember David Catania, who actually wrote the bill that you've been reading.
Sabrina, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Damani.
Damani, good to see you. Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So what are we talking about today? We're talking about DC Promise?
Yes.
All right. Well, how do we begin? Do you have a...
If we could talk about a little about yourself, that would be wonderful.
Wow. That's a great way to start a morning. All right. So my name is David Catania. I'm the chairman of the Committee on Education. I'm an at-large member, which means I represent perspective, the things that we believe in as a community. In other words, the things that we value as a community. What do you think they are?
Most people from the city value giving back to your community.
That's exactly right. We really believe in fairness, and we really believe in equal opportunity. And so the idea is, how do we make that happen, and how do we incorporate that value system into our institutions? And first, it's our public education system, and how do we do that? And it seems to me that unless we give kids a chance to go to college, there really isn't fairness, and there really isn't an issue of equal opportunity.
I have a question. Let's see. All right. You said the only antidote for poverty is education, right?
Yes.
So what if the students lack hope, inspiration, or perseverance, or motivation, period, to get an education because they feel like there's no hope for them to do anything because they've been struck by poverty so hard?
Well, I mean, that is something I see every day in schools, especially where there are real pockets of poverty.
Meeting with the students and the councilmen today is really the epitome of the Chavez mission, to give students the ability to engage with policymakers so that they understand that they actually are full citizens of the United States.
What's really exciting about this school is it's training future leaders. Studies indicate that the more educated a person is, the more engaged they are into civic matters. And so a more educated population leads to a better democracy. And what's really exciting about this particular school is the focus on public policy. It's the primer.
Having those students have the experience of meeting with the councilmen today, I think they walked away knowing more about the DC Promise Act in general, but knowing that they have the power to be able to interact with anyone in a position of power.
I think one of the main things that was a key indicator for me to take a position at a school like Chavez is because of your story. I really think that our kids really buy into your story.
Learning from Mrs. Salcido's experience, you can come from a humble background and yet rise above that and become something else. And I truly believe that I will be capable of doing that.
My parents came to the United States to work in the fields to give us a better life. I happened to be the youngest one, so I stayed behind with my grandmother, and I did not reunite with my parents until I was 14.
Through the Cesar Chavez School, I've also learned that I'm capable of not just organizing, but also changing other students' lives, changing their perspective on how they can achieve success.
Good afternoon, AU.
Good afternoon, Mr. Marsden.
Today we are joined by Hillary Lendaverde. She is telling her personal migration story. Please give maybe some snaps for our visitor, Hillary.
So I know you guys are learning about immigration, and that's one of my passions, and I know a lot about immigration because I have a very personal connection with immigration. My whole family is from El Salvador. How many of you are from El Salvador? My mom came to the United States when she was 27, and I was only 4 in El Salvador. She left me when I was 4.
When I was 14, my parents wanted to bring me home because they felt that where I was going to have opportunities was going to be here, not staying back in Mexico.
I came to the United States when I was 9 years old. I was in the 3rd grade, so I was younger than you guys.
It was really hard, of course, because I didn't understand English, so I had to memorize a lot of the information. To be honest with you, I don't know how I made it through high school. It was really hard. I was not learning. I was not receiving the preparation I needed. At the same time, also, I didn't know much about college, and I don't remember anyone telling me anything about college. Berkeley, they assumed being an immigrant student, I was not going to go to college, but didn't get the information.
Okay, yeah.
How was it when you left El Salvador? Did you just walk through the desert yourself?
And it's a group of people coming and walking with you across the border, so we kind of all support each other in that way. And if sometimes you don't have food, someone else might have food, and they might give you food or water. So, yeah, but it's definitely scary.
So it was a community college near where I live, and just went in and asked how I can enroll.
I still remember a little bit about what my uncle used to tell me while we were walking through the desert. He would tell me, just keep going. Remember that there's water in the United States. And that made me feel better because I was so thirsty, and I knew that if I walked fast and if I walked the whole time that I was going to get to this place where there was water.
It was really hard because of the language, and also I was working full-time at the same time. But what kept me in community college were two things: knowing that I wanted to make my parents proud, but also to do something about not having enough minority and low-income students go to college and finish. Then I decided to go to Harvard and get my master's degree in education. I felt that if I could go to a school like Harvard, I could even make a bigger impact.
I'm a senior in high school now at Capitol Hill, Cesar Chavez. I have the dream of going to college and becoming an immigration lawyer.
There's a lot of need. A lot of our students need to have hope and know that we believe in them, and then they can go to college.
And I agree totally.
I think it's really important that a school stands for something like public policy and empowers students to have impact in their community.
Students my age have the ability to change agents, and through that I myself have been able to organize meetings, advocate for immigration rights. That really shows how the schools really influenced me in that way.
I think that our teachers are very aware. Teachers that we have in the building know where our kids are coming from. They know their needs. They know what will motivate them, and I think that's extremely important in a student.
Can I get a "We're Gonna Change the World"? Thank you, guys.
Sing with me, y'all. One world, we only got one world, that's all we got. One world, we only got one world, that's all we got. One world.
For the Visionaries, I'm Sam Waterston.
Visionaries is brought to you in partnership with Harvard Kennedy School's Ash Center for Democratic Governance and Innovation, and through the generosity of Frank and Barbara Manley, Tom Hormel, the Parker Family Foundation, Nebraska Tourism Commission, Rogers, Our Passion is Building, Advantage Fitness Products, PNC Bank, Grand Island Chamber of Commerce, and from the generous support of the following: